drink to Toad TV. Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm Mary Beth.
I'm Helen.
We are the creative hands and minds behind Toad Hollow. Yeah. Okay.
Would you have to check that?
Yeah.
Fact check?
Yeah. Just wondering if I went further, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to go further today. I'm just keeping with Toad Hollow. All right. So, thank you guys very much for your comments yesterday about the ephemera video. A couple people asked us if we could show them what we did with it. We will.
Yes, that's coming.
Yeah. But we thought that might be a fun way to start the week, especially since it was Columbus Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a fun way to...
Also remind ourselves what we bought.
Right, because kind of frightening. We placed it a couple of weeks ago. I'd forgotten. So somebody did ask us where we had found some of it. I searched wholesale ephemera on Etsy, and that's what I found.
Yeah.
And some of it did come from overseas. So there was some...
delays, but for the most part, they came really fast.
Well, they came very quickly. All right. So we have a couple things we wanted to talk about, and then we're going to do the state of the sweaters. It's Tuesday, Sweater Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay, so first thing, this Saturday we're going to be doing our Facebook room, not so much tutorial as a knit along with everybody, knitting socks 2 at a time.
Mary Beth and I are going to be in a room starting our socks 2 at a time.
Right.
So,
for those of you that bought the October mystery yarn,
what time are we doing?
I think noon. I think
Noon.
that's what we said.
Okay.
For those of you that bought the October mystery yarn,
That was
hopefully
the
you have
intention.
gotten it by now. You should have gotten it by now. So, spoiler alert, we're going to show it in case you haven't gotten it.
Right. But a couple things when you're getting ready, if you're going to be joining us and you've never done socks 2 at a time before, we find it easiest if you cake or ball up your yarn into 2.
Right.
They don't have to be exactly 50 grams each, but try and get them as close to half and half as you possibly can.
Right.
And it will be easier if you do the same for the mini that you're using for the cuffs and heels.
Right. Because the mystery yarn came with a mini, so that best to put it into 2 different either cakes or balls, depending on how you do it.
I mean, if you've done 2 at a time before, you may do it where you pull from the inside and the outside of the same ball. That just adds a little bit of yarn management to the issue, so that if it's the first time, it's the easiest thing to do to just have 2 separate balls.
Oh my gosh. It's so much easier as far as keeping it untangled to just wind them into 2 separate things.
Right. And I've done it where, mine are like 60-40.
Right.
Because I do not use a full skein for socks.
Right.
For me, and I'm a size 11 foot female, so, unless you're doing like a size 15 men's, you really don't need the full skein, so you don't need to worry so much about being as precise on the whole 50-50.
Okay, so we do have some skeins left of the mystery yarn. We have 10 of them listed, so if you didn't get one and you want to get it, we do have it available. So here is the inspiration picture.
Spoiler, if you haven't opened your mystery yarn,
here we go. Okay, so here's...
avert your gaze and shut off, put on headphones.
Here's this inspiration picture.
Up a little.
We found it very, very amusing that they were bringing cheddar, Stilton, and Gorgonzola. We thought that was very, very funny.
I mean, like, to the point where we're still terribly amused with ourselves.
So
hold it back up.
Okay. Here is the yarn, or here is the inspiration.
Avert your gaze.
And here is the yarn.
So the yarn itself has a very light base, and then it's got greens, it's got the blue, it's got some of the yellow, and then the purple for the heels.
We decided to put the purple in because we thought it went beautifully with it, but there was no purple in the skein, so it's going to really pop against it.
So if you would like a skein, it's now available in the shop.
So
and it's the kit, the mini and the full skein.
Right. So if you're joining us, you're going to need 2 needles in whatever size you knit your socks. I do size 2, Helen does size 1.
Right.
Depending on what your size that you prefer, your preference is.
And that's just for starting. the 2 needles. You will,
Right.
you're gonna start on 2 needles, and then you're gonna transfer everything over to the 1.
Right. So you're going to need one that is 32 or 40 inches long, so that you can get the 2 socks on it and knit and have a little bit of space in between your knitting pieces. So you need one that's going to be at least 40 inches long, and then one that you can magic loop to start.
Yeah.
You do like 2 rounds to get it started, and then move it over to the other one.
Right.
Okay. So noon on Saturday. If you would like to come join us, we are the Crafty Toads, or Crafting with the Toads on Facebook. I think it's facebook.com/thecraftytoads.
It is facebook.com/groups/thecraftytoads.
There you go. And
however, I will put a link down below for the Facebook page, and I will also have a link for the yarn.
Okay, there you go.
And I think we're doing Hermione, right?
Yes, we're doing Hermione Everyday Socks. Very simple, but if you prefer to do a straight vanilla sock, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, the sock pattern is really irrelevant. It's we're just going to show how to get started, because I cannot see us getting beyond the cuff.
Right.
So
and it's really as I was saying, since we're knitting a tube and we're going to put in afterthought heels, whatever size, whatever design you want to make, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Completely up to you. Might decide to do a straight vanilla sock. Go ahead. I might decide to do a straight vanilla sock because I don't want to deal with pattern. I don't know. It's not Saturday
I
yet.
might pick a new pattern.
Right. You know what? Who knows?
It's 2020.
Right. Anything goes.
I may just do leg warmers.
Okay. All right. There's that. I think that's it, right?
I think so. I can't imagine what else. I mean, back orders of bags are going out today. Most back orders of yarn are going out today. Harry Potter October is going out today. The mailman's going to love us today.
Oh, yeah.
So lots going out today.
Yep.
It's day after Columbus Day, day after 3-day weekend. And we have boxes downstairs for him to pick up.
Yep. So it's good. Very, very quickly, we are doing SAF the weekend after next. We're going to do it a little bit differently for our live thing. We're only going to have half an hour, but we're going to do it a little bit differently because we noticed when we were doing Vogue this weekend that we're doing the same thing over and over again. It's getting kind of stale. So we thought for SAF, if you want to join us, we'll give you the link to the video. It's
going to be through their Facebook group. It's going to be we'll be live on their Facebook group.
Okay.
And so it's called Missing SAF is the Facebook group.
And I think we're 2:30 to 3 on Saturday.
Yeah, it's either 2 to 2:30 or 2:30 to 3.
Pretty sure we're 2:30 to 3. But what we thought we'd do is we would line up all our yarn in front of us and have you guys tell us what patterns you want to make, and we'll do yarn pairings for the patterns. So we're only going to have half an hour to do it, but we thought it might be a fun way to do things, showcase the yarn a little bit differently than here's this shawl that you've seen 14 times, and we're doing fairy tales this year that you've heard 14 times. You know, it's just, let's do things a little bit differently.
Right.
So that's our plan. So if you're going to be joining us, Missing SAF, Saturday from 2:30 to 3, come with yarn.
Sorry, Saturday the 25th.
Oh, there you go. Come with projects in mind so that we can help pair them.
Right.
Okay, cool.
And we will not get to every single one.
But we'll do as many as we can.
Right.
And all right, let's talk about sweaters.
Okay.
All right. I have 2 sweaters.
I don't want to talk about sweaters.
You have to talk about sweaters. It's Sweater Tuesday. Sweater Tuesday. All right. I'm going to start with the Spectre by Hohi Locatelli. This is the Spectre. All right, do you see all those?
I was going to say,
those
pay
little
attention to that.
broomy things that look like little points, arrows pointing up?
They're beautiful.
I've screwed them up. But good. You can't even tell that there's a point.
Oh no, I've got that there's supposed to be something here.
Yeah, but it's not there. The other side isn't there. Right, so here
Good,
it
there
is.
you got a point. This one worked.
It's supposed to be pointing up, not pointing down.
No, it's pointing up.
That's not the point.
Well, then you screwed that one up too.
So here's what it looks like right now. It's a mess. I hate this. I hate the sweater. I hate the pattern. I hate everything about it.
You don't like all the intricacies of the pattern. It's not that the pattern's not well written.
No, it's a Hohi pattern. It's
Yeah,
beautifully
okay.
written.
No. I
It's
just want to. I don't want people thinking that we're trashing the pattern. at
No,
all.
it's me. I'm knitting it. It's all wrong. It's not going right. I last night I was doing it where you have to put one stitch on a cable needle, then knit two, then bring the stitch back over, and it was just, oh my god, it was so fiddly, and I was getting very frustrated, and I'm just not enjoying knitting the sweater at all.
I mean, they had just shut Josh on the West Wing, so it was bad.
Well, that was that too. However,
Are you supposed to have the yarn overs?
yes,
Okay.
those are supposed to be.
Well, they're very consistent. I'm like, either you screwed up or very
No,
consistently.
no, that's
Okay.
supposed to be there.
I have a theory on sweaters, which we will get to with mine.
Okay,
But-
so for right now, I'm scrapping the sweater. I'm going to I'm just not enjoying knitting it at all. So I am going to scrap this and start something new.
Are you going to pull it out or are you just going to put it aside?
No, I'm going to pull it out. I don't
Okay.
want to knit this sweater. I'm just not enjoying knitting this sweater. So those of you who have been watching a while may remember when I was knitting with the Northern Lights. I started three different sweaters with that until I hit the one that was right, and then I made the JC sweater, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So I just have to find the right one, and it may mean that I'm starting a couple of different ones and moving around and that sort of thing. So what I'm thinking of doing is doing the Granito, again by Hohi.
Pull it up. There you go.
Okay, so I'm thinking of doing this. I am not sure if I'm going to do it in all different colors and continue the orange fade, or if I'm going to do it all in one color. I'm kind of leaning towards doing it all in one color so that it'll just be a straight one color sweater. I'm going to probably do it in a variegated though instead of the solid that she did it in. But it's just a gorgeous classic sweater.
You can't really tell, but it has pockets here and here. So I thought it would be fun if she did a variegated and then did the pockets in a solid that matches.
So I may do that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I haven't decided yet, but for right now.
It would be really pretty too, is if you used like if you were going to do one skein for the pockets and then you did your ribbing.
Oh, in it too.
In that color too.
That would be pretty. That would be really pretty. I'll keep that in mind in case that's what I decide to do. All right, so that's the plan. I do know is I'm scrapping the Spectre. I'm putting it away.
Because once you get through all the points and everything too, then you said it's like purl 3, knit 1.
Yeah, it's a rib sweater.
But
and
it's the backwards. It's not knit 3, purl 1. It's purl 3, knit 1.
So it's going. I'm pulling it out.
Well, we were talking about last night. This is you're supposed to enjoy your knitting. This is supposed to be your relaxing time. And it shouldn't be something that you're like, oh, I got to work on this.
Right.
And if you're going to screw it up, something so intricate where you just have random lines all over your chest. It's just...
I thought, to begin with, I was thinking, well, how bad is it going to be? Is anybody going to really be able to see it? And then you see it in the sweater, and it's like, oh, that is big.
Yeah.
That's you're going to see it.
It's a big detail. Yeah.
So that's going. Sweater number 1 gone, and I have to start a new one. I just don't know whether I'm going to start it right away or not. Okay.
Here are my thoughts on sweaters and garments in general. I don't have the patience for it. Okay. You have to, when you're knitting a sweater, you really have to pay attention to the pattern ahead of time and do your measurements and not just, say, well, the pattern says this, so I'm just
Right.
going to go with this because that's what the pattern says. So I finished my car bath. Here it is.
Okay, so here, this looks really good.
Well, the whole thing looks great.
This looks really good. Wait, it's for someone who's very, very short-waisted. I am very short-waisted. This doesn't fit me.
Blocking, it's going to work on you. I'm 5'8", and I'm not short-waisted. It's way too short.
It's way too short.
It doesn't
even blocking is going to do that much.
No, because one of the things is superwash stretches, but this is 2 strands of superwash, so there's a little less stretch than you normally get. The sleeves don't fit because here's part of the problem. I started this a year ago. It got put down. It got picked up. It got put down. It got picked up, and I would pick it up, and it's like, oh look, I've knit the cuff of the sleeve in a couple rows, so I'm just going to keep going up the sleeve, and I'll follow the instructions for the sleeve. But I had started the cuff on the smaller needles, and I never changed to the bigger needles because I wasn't paying attention. So,
also, this is supposed to be like 12 to 14 inches.
No, it calls for 8.5.
Okay, we have now had an argument about what it was supposed to be, and Helen was right, so she's going to take that part out so that you don't see us arguing. However,
it just doesn't fit. So there's that.
we were going to put it on a teddy bear to show.
And it's just, it's discouraging. So I did a Corba.
Okay. Remember when Mary Beth threw her bag across the room? 2020 is Helen throwing her sweater across the room. All right.
It's just, when I want to knit, I just want to go. I don't, and I'm that way with every project I start. I don't want to take the time to pick out all the colors for my quilt. I just want to start quilting. I don't want to take the time to measure and read through the pattern and everything like that. I'm excited to start something new and I just want to go.
Right.
So,
okay.
I'm going to knit my shawl for the time being.
Okay.
But now that we have Sweater Tuesday, I'm going to have to start sweater.
All right. I've been working on my Cromwell. I have problems with my Cromwell. You're going to notice a theme. All right, so here's the Cromwell. That's where I am so far. Okay, so I'm doing it out of potions. I love the way it looks. I think it looks fantastic. I don't know whether I misread something. The neck is humongous. I mean, it's huge.
And you measured it, and it's double what her measurement should be.
Yeah. So something went wrong. I'm doing the sleeve the way that she says. The sleeve is huge. Also, I'm about 2/3 away through her first round of decreases, and I still have another 60 rows to go on this. And right now, when I put it on, I can't put that sleeve in because I have it on waist yarn and the waist yarn is too tight.
Okay, she has 3 layers on already, so this is going to be your 3rd layer, right?
Yeah, this is my 3rd layer. Okay, so here you go. You can see how, okay, so as Ray was saying, I can do my flash dance, have it down over one shoulder, like so, if I so chose. So I can wear it like this, but I don't think that's the way it's supposed to be. So anyway, that's that. Okay, so here's my sleeve. I still have 60 rows to do. There's only this much left. Seriously, there's less than my hand left. So, I have to figure this out.
Yeah, I mean, the length of the
Look at-
sleeve is
look-
like
Look
for
at
an
my
orangutan.
sleeve. I mean, seriously, look at my sleeve. I'm going to keep the sleeves the way they are because I don't mind big loose sleeves like this. I'm going to put it over something, and where this is an outdoor sweater, that was the plan all along, so that I'm okay with. But I have to figure out how to, what I'm going to do. You know, I'm going to follow through.
You're
And,
just going to
Um,
increase the decreases.
I'm going to increase the decreases, and then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to the point where I want my cuff, and then I'm going to just basically knit two together all the way around until, and that will get me to the circumference of my cuff, I'm hoping. And then I'll just do my ribbing for my cuff.
Do you think that's going to look okay? Not doing
Think about
the
it as
gradual-
like a balloon
Okay.
sweater.
Yeah.
You know, the balloon sleeves,
Right.
and then it comes in tight.
Okay.
So I'm kind of thinking that.
Okay.
That's my plan. But I'm going to be doing probably half the number of rows that they call for because evidently whoever wears this size sweater has arms the length of a gorilla. Because
Gorillas
really,
have long arms?
they do.
Okay.
It's ridiculous. So also, I'm taking out the collar. The collar was picked up so that I'm just going to cut the thread and just unravel the whole thing and take it out and just pick up again. And then instead of doing what they called for, I think I'm probably going to be knitting two together and then start
And
doing
then
the
start the
collar
rib.
because this is just, that's not the way it's supposed
Yeah.
to be at all. So I am making modifications on this just because it's all off. I have to go back and read the collar section to make sure I didn't do something wrong. I may have done something wrong.
Right.
But I think I picked up the right number of stitches and knit the way they said to and the way it called for, and it's just tremendously big. So maybe I'm supposed to change needles. I don't know.
Yeah, but still, 2 needle sizes isn't going to get you half the.
Right. So in progress, I'm still loving the sweater. It's just not going to come out looking exactly like the Cromwell that everybody else is doing. This is the Mary Beth Cromwell. Susan said that she wants to crochet
the Helen sweater.
the Helen sweater, and she wants to know where's the Mary Beth's pattern. Here you go. This is the Mary Beth because it's the Cromwell done over for Mary Beth. All right, so that is the status of sweater. All right, guys, that does it for us.
Yes.
We hope you have a lovely Tuesday,
Go forth and create.
and we will see you tomorrow.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.